there. Paul Dickinson is the commentator once again.
The first quarter-final of the women's 1,000 meters. China, Korea, the People's Republic of Korea, Canada and Holland. And there are 5 skaters on the 9 laps of this 1,000 meters because Anke Jani Landman, who's currently just moving into the lead ahead of the People's Republic of Korea's Han. Landman it was who was pushed and fell in one of the first round races. So 5 skaters in here and 4 in all the rest. Landman leads, coached by Britain's Wilf O'Reilly. He really started off our knowledge and brought it to our attention, the sport of short track speed skating, back in 1988 when he won those 2 demonstration gold medals in Calgary. And since then, of course, British speed skating, although not represented in the final stages of the Olympic competition here because of the elimination of Nikki Gooch and Matt Jasper. The sport really has gone from strength to strength in Great Britain, but could certainly do with more talent. Now then, with 3 laps to go in this first quarter-final, the Chinese skater Yang Yang moves into a big lead over Landman. In 3rd place and moving through into 2nd is Kim Yun-mai of Korea. And just 2 skaters will go through to the semi-finals. The pace has really picked up as the front 2 hit the bell. From China, Yang Yang. From Korea, Kim Yun-mai. Landman is not going to make it through. And China wins it. Korea in 2nd, Netherlands 3rd. The time 1:31.99. And I'm sure that will be confirmed. Well, I'm just looking at the clock at the moment. That is under world record time. Well, the early pace did not seem to suggest that a world record was on the cards. We'll update that in just a few moments' time. But look at this. Landman it was who led, but then the charge came on the outside by Yang Yang. And it is a new world record. A brilliant skate there by Yang Yang of China. 1:31.91, and in fact Kim from Korea as well bettered the old world record with 1:32.097. Such is the dominance of these 2 nations in women's short track at the moment. And look at that, Landman broke the Olympic record and is eliminated. Unbelievable. 9 laps. And it's safe to say it's not going to be another world record. Ikuya Tashigawara, diminutive in stature, but lots of good technique, guts and determination. Marinella Canclini of Italy. The Italians have got a good tradition in this sport as well. And in 3rd place, Chun-Li Kyung of Korea. The defending champion in this distance. She hasn't really shone so brightly as she did 4 years ago so far, but the Koreans have certainly got their preparation right here in Nagano. Tashigawara leads, 5.5 laps to go. Chun-Li Kyung was just shoved back there into 3rd place. Marinella Canclini was having none of it. It's been the same 4 from the gun. Radanova of Bulgaria right at the back. 4 laps to go. At the moment, Chun-Li Kyung of Korea, she's got a bronze medal already in the 500 meters, but as defending champion, she's got to start making a move. Radanova, the Bulgarian, trying to go around on the outside. 2.5 laps to go. Tashigawara leads. Oh, the Italian goes wide. That lets the Korean through. The Korean just sailed through the gap made by Canclini. It's still Tashigawara of Japan. The Bulgarian trying to go through, but she's blocked by the Japanese. Now Chun-Li Kyung of Korea makes a move. There's a couple of meters between her and Tashigawara. Can the Japanese skater hang on? Yes, she can. Oh, a big sigh from the crowd here. They weren't really cheering for the defending champion, who in the end won it comfortably. They were breathing a huge sigh of relief for Ikuya Tashigawara, who did get through to the semi-final. sends the skaters away on the first of 9 laps. The People's Republic of Korea, Ho Jong-hai, just easing into the lead. But Isabelle Charret is so strong. She's won medals at every level of the sport. Going wide, Japanese skater Ozawa, having just seen Teshigawara qualify for the semi-final, will certainly want to join her teammate. Isabelle Charret just eases in on the shoulder of Ozawa, going wide just to make sure she's not impeded by anybody else, but at the same time perhaps slowing down Yang Yang of China. Japan in third. The People's Republic of Korea was fourth, but they pushed the Japanese skater Ozawa out wide. Japan comes back, but it's still Isabelle Charret of Canada leading. They're coming round now with 4 laps to go. It's Canada, China, the People's Republic of Korea and Japan. Saki Ozawa of Japan has got a lot to do now. Just about 300 meters to go. Isabelle Charret will not want to make the same mistake as she made in the final of the 500 meters. She'd preferably like to have an easy ride through the semi-finals here. It's Charret just puffing a little bit. I don't think Japan are going to have 2 through to the semi-final. The final lap, they take the bell. Ozawa is trying to make a big effort, but at the moment, Isabelle Charret just easing down. Yang Yang of China will go through, and Ozawa from Japan ends up in 3rd place. So Yang Yang of China qualifying there. Isabelle Charret looking very, very good and in control of her skating and dominating this one from the front. Ozawa figured in the early part of the race there, just putting a hand out and touching Yang Yang, but in the end, I think the Japanese skater just ran out of steam. So Amy Peterson wearing number 47 leads. Ellen Vegas, 35, goes into the lead now. Shikashi Tanaka with 51 on her helmet. And finally, one of Korea right at the back. 7.5 laps to go. Ellen Vegas looking relaxed and graceful at the front. Looked inside her and didn't spot Shikashi Tanaka come through on her and now leads. Japan from the United States. Amy Peterson eases away past and then won the Korean. So in the space of about 50 meters or so, it's all changed. And now Ellen Vegas of the Netherlands finds herself right at the back by a couple of meters. One leads from Amy Peterson of the United States. Then Tanaka. Then Vegas. Coming round with just over 300 meters to go now. One of Korea. The Koreans brilliant in the women's relay, which they just won from the Chinese, but both teams broke the world record earlier in the Olympic Winter Games. Let's watch the Japanese girl, see if she can make a move and make her way through the semi-final. She's just hanging ahead a little bit as they go through the bell. Just over 50 meters left. It's Peterson in 2nd place behind one of Korea. And so the host nation will only find one of their skaters make it through to the semi-final. But the Koreans delighted with their skaters' performance. And I think Amy Peterson, well, she can be very, very pleased with her performance too.
Now we'll take a short break to resurface the ice.
Japan it was who led early on through Shikashi Tanaka. But look at the speed of one Hai Kyung of Korea.
For the ladies 1,000-meter quarterfinals. In 1st place, Hae Yeon-won of Korea.
So 2 world records have been set here. 2 skaters rather have broken world records. Yang Yang A from China with the brilliant new figures of 131.991. And Kim of Korea. It looks as though it could be an all-Asian showdown once we get to the final. As a result of the final, quarter-final, one of Korea and Amy Peterson of the United States.
And a terrific performance there from Yang Yang A, coming straight out in that first quarter-final, Jamie. and going straight out and breaking the world record.
Yeah, good positive start by the Dutch girl, Landman. She went out, gave herself the best possibility of getting through and qualifying. Unfortunately, she had a very strong Chinese girl and a very strong Korean sat at the back, and they just pounced at the end and took the world record.
What about the performance from Yang Yang?
Very, very good. She blasted around the outside when the pace was starting to tail off a bit, and she just kept going and going. The early pace that Landman set, she was able to finish and break the world record, which is a very, very fast time.
Certainly was. Let's turn our attention now to the semi-finals of the men's 500 metres, and Li Yaoyong of China had thrown down the gauntlet earlier. Here's what happened.
Some very tense moments for the semi-finalists. The first semi-final of the men's 500 metres, David Versteeg of Holland, who's looked very comfortable in the earlier rounds. An Yulong of China, Chai Jai-hoon, the defending champion from Korea, and Hitoshi Uematsu from Japan. That's the Korean, Chai Jai-hoon, whose, I suppose, status as Korea's #1 skater has rather been taken over by Kim Dog-sung, who's already the 1,000 metre champion at the Olympic Games at just 17 years old. That was Dave Versteeg of Holland. Looks much, much better at this distance, where he unofficially holds the world record. That record is yet to be ratified by the governing body of this sport, but tremendous support for Korea, as of course there is for Japan. Chai Jai-hoon skates for Korea and Uematsu for Japan. The skates digging in the ice for the sprint for the line. Versteeg tries to go through on the inside, but can't. It's Uematsu who gets away to a brilliant start. Japan followed by China, and Dave Versteeg of Holland is right at the back. That start upsetting him. He's almost into the sides. I think the Dutch skater is well out of it. Chai Jai-hoon of Korea, the defending champion's got some work to do. It's Japan with the Korean trying to come through on An Yulong at the moment. The Korean does make it through into second place, but the Chinese coming back just pushes Chai Jai-hoon to the side. It's just 2 to go through to the final. There's arms and legs all over the place. I don't think the defending champion's going to get through. He doesn't. Uematsu, a brilliant skate. 43.69 seconds. And the defending champion, who was pushing An Yulong of China more than a lap away from the finish, ends up in third place. So perhaps Korea are not going to dominate this tournament as we thought they might do. They've already won the 1,000 metres by the skater who goes in the next semi-final, Kim Dong-sung. They won the women's relay. But they may not win the 500 metres, not if Hitoshi Uematsu of Japan skates like that. Dave Versteeg's problems on the inside started right from the start. Got into a bit of a mess there, and then he was never really in the hunt for one of the final places. The finish was superb. Chai Jai-hoon just left himself a little bit too much to do and was just about a foot behind An Yulong of China. Japan in first place. Hitoshi Uematsu confirmed at 43.69. The time is irrelevant. The Japanese skater has got a place in the final. And An Yulong of China, he will make the lineup for the final as well. Uematsu has just been announced to the crowd as the winner. An Yulong joins him in the final. Versteeg of the Netherlands and the Korean are eliminated. The second semi-final includes Mark Gagnon of Canada, brilliant skater. Andy Gable of the USA, Kim Dong-sung of Korea, the 1,000 metre champion. Nishitani of Japan and Lai Jai-jun, silver medalist in the 1,000 metres. And how about this for a start? Japan in the lead straight away. Andy Gable has been gaining in confidence with every skate here. Well, this is an incredible start. The Japanese skater Nishitani just taking a look behind him to see what's going on. And Andy Gable is stuck to him like a leech. if Gable's got any chance of going through. Oh, he's gone. The American's gone. The pressure was just a little too much to take. So at the moment, it's Japan from Mark Gagnon. And then Korea and China having a real tussle. 50 meters to go. Gagnon, I think, is going to qualify. Nishitani of Japan. 2 Japanese go through. Canada. Oh, brilliant. Kim Dong-sung, the 1,000-meter champion, is eliminated. That's a big surprise. What is the time? It's 42.75. That is a new Olympic record and only just outside the world record. Well, by the time we get to the finals, with 2 Japanese skaters safely through, this place is going to take off. Mark Gagnon safely through, but only after a big fight with the rest. He can certainly thank Takafumi Nishitani for helping with the early pace. I think Mark Gagnon liked that. Andy Gable in second place there just after the start was going very well indeed. Unfortunately, he fell with a couple of laps to go.
Our next program, the ladies,
there was no contact. It was just the pace was a little bit too much, and the blade just didn't dig into the ice enough. Andy Gable will not make his second final during these Olympic Games. Nishitani will, along with teammate Hitoshi Uematsu. So I wonder if the Chinese are having a discussion about what went on in that race. I guess they will all regroup before the final to discuss tactics.
For the men's 500-meter race. In first
so a new Olympic record for Nishitani. And I've just been told that Lai of China has actually been disqualified. It didn't make any difference because it was Mark Gagnon in second place, who also beat the old Olympic record. But Lai just behind him, pondering what may have been. Amazing that Korea did not make it through in that semi-final. Nishitani and Gagnon skated brilliantly to go through to the final. Kim, who's already got a gold medal from these games, is gone, as is Gable. And Lai from China was disqualified.
Well, that's what short track racing is all about. Jamie, 2 very physical semi-finals.
Yeah, I think what it shows is how important the starts are in both races. Once one of the guys gets out in first place, it is very hard to overtake him and qualify. So I think in both races, the guy who got to the front won both races. So.
Not easy having 5 in that second heat, was it? No. OK, well, we're returning now to the ladies' 1,000 metres. The Olympic record has been broken a number of times. 2 skaters have broken the world record. Let's find out what will happen in the semi-finals.
The skaters getting ready for the first semi-final of the 1,000 metres for women. 2 Koreans, a Canadian and a Chinese skater, getting away to a fairly steady start. And in the lead at the moment, number 21, Kim Young-mai from Korea, with the Chinese skater just going around the outside. Yang S. And in third place, Isabelle Charret, the Canadian. So the pace beginning to hot up a little bit after a slow start. It's 9 laps in total. They've got 6.5 to go. It's Kim Young-mai in the lead. Her teammate, number 31, is moving into second place. I wonder if this can be a Korean 1-2. Not if Isabelle Charret of Canada has anything to do about it. She's in third place at the moment. 1 leads for Korea for the first time in this first semi-final. They come round with 4 laps to go. 1 of Korea, look at that, one of the Koreans has gone way off. So Charret in second place and 1 of Korea have now developed a gap of about 10 meters over Yang of China. And this is going to look comfortable now for Isabelle Charret in 1. Big surprise that Kim Young-mai is not going to be there as well, but she made a big error with about 4 laps to go. They're going to come round and hear the bell this time. It's 1 of Korea. The Chinese skater is trying to make up ground. There's only a couple of meters between the first two and the Chinese now as they come into the home straight. The Chinese making it. I think Isabelle Charret has been eliminated on the line. The photo finish will determine that. Won Hai Kyung of Korea makes it through to the 1,000-meter final, but who will be the second skater to join her? That was an incredible comeback by Yang Yang of China. She was dropped when there was a little bit of a tussle about 3 or 4 laps out. Isabelle Charret must have thought she was safe for that second qualifying spot. Now then, it was one in the lead at this stage. Isabelle Charret came through on the inside, and then Yang Yang and Kim Yeon Mai of Korea lost about 5 meters in the space of 20. Just watch the skater in third place at the moment. It's the skate that has to pass the line first, and I think she's going to get it. And that confirms what everybody felt. The worst fears of all those people in the stadium supporting Canada. Isabelle Charret has been eliminated. One of Korea goes through, and Yang Yang of China qualify for the final.
And in fourth lane, number 47,
By the slimmest of margins, the Canadian is eliminated. So Korea have one skater through already, as do the Chinese. Just the front part with the front foot dug in the ice there to get some purchase away to the first bend. But unlike the sprint in the men's 500 meters, a little bit leisurely until, that is, Ikuya Tashigawara of Japan decides to lift it. It often happens in some of the longer races that if the pace is very slow and then the skaters try to put in a big burst, they start to find problems. Certainly the pace is being lifted here, coming up towards 6 laps to go. Chun-Li Kyung of Korea leads. Tashigawara of Japan in second place. Then comes Yang Yang right around the outside. That was an increase in pace. 5 laps to go. Amy Peterson of the USA now adrift in 4th place. It's Korea and China almost together with 4 laps to go. Then Japan, then the USA. The Japanese would desperately love a finalist in an individual event here. Tashigawara, a tiny little skater, just tucked in behind Chun of Korea. It's still China leading. 2 laps to go, just over 200 meters. Tremendous roars for Tashigawara. Now what can she do? Amy Peterson's coming through on the inside. Tashigawara's right in amongst it there, but loses her balance. Yang Yang comes away for China. And Korea follows in second place. 2 Chinese and 2 Koreans in the final. And Tashigawara is eliminated. Oh, the Chinese and the Koreans in head-to-head battle in the final of the women's 1,000 meters.
Now we'll take a short break to resurface the ice.
1:34.69. Not a particularly fast time, but that's largely as a result of the slow early pace. And Tashigawara there trying to squeeze through. She nearly did it. But Chun-Li Kyung just leaning on her a little bit, and that upset the Japanese skaters' rhythm. And Japan, quite naturally, are going to object to the referee. Sometimes skaters do get disqualified. There was no faller there, but there may be a question of Tashigawara being impeded around that turn. At the moment, the 2 qualifiers are being shown as Yang Yang of China and Chun-Li Kyung of Korea. But I guess the inquest will go on for some time yet. And confirmation of that result, 1:34.68. China and Korea through to the final again in the second semi-final.
Yes, another 2 eventful semi-finals there, Jamie. But looking at the first one there, Isabelle Charret, I mean, strange tactics from Kim there.
Yeah, big mistake, I think, from Kim. She tried, basically, Isabelle Charret came up the inside and was quite reasonably in front of her going into the bend, and the Korean tried to lean on her with the size difference. It was a rather strange tactical manoeuvre, and she paid for it in the end, and she's failed to qualify. A bit like Sheree, really, not skating all the way to the line. So two of the favourites, in my opinion, have gone out through stupid manoeuvres, really.
No, it just goes to prove, you know, how difficult your sport is here, because, you know, one slight mistake, the Olympic challenge is over.
Yeah, it's a fine line whether to stand your ground or whether to just move wide and give yourself a chance later on in the race. And Isabelle Charret not skating over the line only has herself to blame, really. 200th of a second off qualifying for an Olympic final, which is crazy.
Korea and China, though, I mean, dominant here. Is it something to do with the builds that makes them so good in this event?
The Chinese have been very strong in the ladies' event this year. I would expect, if everything goes right tactically, I'd expect the Yang to win, who was in the second semi-final. She has a great turn of speed, and if she uses that in the right area, then I don't think any of the others can actually catch her and beat her, really.
Well, Yang Yang A and Yang Yang S are in the final. Good luck, Paul Dickinson, in the final, which you'll be able to see in Grandstand over on BBC One later on. But we're now returning to the men's sprint event, the 500 metres, and the start of the B final.
The men's 500-metre B final gets underway. Andy Gable of the United States going straight into the lead. 4 laps to go, and surprisingly, Gable leads ahead of the young Korean, Chai Jae-hoon, the defending champion, who will not go for a medal this time. This is the B final, remember, but Andy Gable in the lead. The Korean eases through on the inside as Dave Versteeg of the Netherlands in 3rd place, and the 1,000-metre champion Kim Dong-sung of Korea is in 4th and last place at the moment. Here goes the bell. Korea lead. The Netherlands in 2nd. Andy Gable trying to get through on the inside. This could be a testing last bend, but the Korean's going to win it. Chai Jae-hoon of Korea wins. 42.83 seconds. It's very, very quick indeed. Just outside the world record, in fact. So some consolation for the defending champion, winning the B final. And like we saw in the women's competition a couple of days ago, if there was a big fall or anything major happened in the A final, that could be good enough for a medal.
Number 109, Mark
Gagnon of Canada. The bronze medal in the 1,000 metres 4 years ago. And a man who finished 4th behind Great Britain's Nikki Gooch in Lillehammer. Nikki Gooch, unfortunately, fell in the preliminary rounds. But listen to the noise for Nishitani of Japan. An Yulong of China. There's 2 Japanese in this final. The other one, Hitoshi Uematsu. The first time Japan have been represented by 2 skaters in an Olympic final. 4.5 laps of this track. Gagnon on the inside. Nishitani, An Yulong of China, and Uematsu on the outside. There's going to be a mad dash to the line after the start. The first corner so important. Gagnon tries to get through, but what a brilliant start by Nishitani. It's very, very quick already. Nishitani is skating brilliantly. Mark Gagnon in 2nd place. An Yulong of China and Uematsu. And listen to the noise as Japan leads the way with 2.5 laps to go. Oh, Gagnon's gone. Uematsu could be creating a bit of history here. Can it be Japan in 1st and 2nd? I don't think it can. It's certainly going to be gold, I think, for Japan. Yes, it is. Nishitani comes through. He's done it. The White Ring Stadium in Nagano has gone crazy for Takafumi Nishitani. Oh, joy for the host nation.
Well, Nishitani has certainly given the fans something to cheer about. Jamie, we've run out of time. Thanks very much for joining us for the Olympics. Sport will continue over on BBC One with the start of Grandstand, but after 15 days in Nagano, we've had a lot to talk about. We'll leave you with some of the athletes who have been big in Japan. Today saw the finals of the men's 5,000 metres relay, and I can promise you it's quite a spectacle with 16 skaters on the ice at one time. Well, sadly, Britain failed to qualify in Thursday's semi-finals, which meant that they would go in today's B final along with Australia, the United States and Japan. We can join that now with 20 laps to go, and in the commentary box, it's Paul Dickinson.
Now it's a big push for Nikki Gooch, but Japan go back into the lead, but Nikki Gooch comes through. Nikki Gooch showing all his experience there, not panicking. And skating round now, getting ready for the changeover is Matthew Rowe. A big push by Nikki Gooch. This is a much more positive performance than we had in the semi-finals. Matthew Rowe enjoying the experience, this big Olympic experience for him. Now it's Matt Jasper. Jasper chasing the Americans. Eric Flame for the United States, the only man in history to win medals in the Olympic Games for long track and short track skating. He hands over to Andy Gable. And the Japanese and the Americans just beginning to pull away from Great Britain at the moment. But this is a tremendous effort by Matt Jasper to get back on terms. Just coming round now with 13 laps to go, and for the first time the United States on level terms with the Japanese. Great Britain in third place. This is where endurance really begins to tell. A tremendous push by Nikki Gooch on the back of Matthew Rowe. Matthew Rowe mustn't panic, he's got to stay cool here. In third place, just tiring a little bit. The United States extending their lead over the Japanese. 10 laps to go now. Just over 1,000 meters. Japan's Shinohara in second place. But the USA are away in the lead by a whisker. Great Britain at the moment are about 15 or 20 metres back. It's Matt Jasper who's trying to make up the ground. He'll be passing over to Nikki Gooch, our Olympic bronze medalist from 4 years ago. But I get the feeling now it's going to be a tussle between the USA, who almost stumbled there, and Japan. 6 laps to go now for Japan and the United States in the relay. Tremendous skating from Tamura. He's ahead at the moment of Kieran Hansen of the USA. Great Britain out of shot, are safe in 3rd place. But they're some 25 metres back from these two. This is unbelievable skating at the front by the Japanese and the Americans. The endurance factor has really bitten hard into the skaters for Great Britain at the moment. David Allardyce, Nicky Gooch, Matt Jasper and Matthew Rowe. They led earlier on, but now it's very definitely a two-way fight between Japan in the lead and the United States. Australia being lapped, and look at this. The Japanese take the bell. It's going to be another bit of glory for Satoru Terao of Japan. The United States will finish in 2nd. And any minute now, Great Britain will come across the line. Nicky Gooch, absolutely exhausted, gets a tap on the back from Matthew Rowe. But it was a very powerful performance from the Japanese and the United States.
So not the happy ending we were hoping for Britain, Jamie. They just seemed a bit flat, but maybe the fact that they didn't qualify for the final, that's understandable.
Yeah, it would have been nice if we went out on a high note in winning the B final. Interesting tactics with them going, they went out positively, but they just ran out of gas at the end, I think, and started to struggle with 12 laps to go with the pace. So, unfortunately, we came 3rd.
We did come 3rd. Well, we will have the final of the relay a little bit later, but now to the women's 1,000 metres, where there are 2 skaters from China and 2 from Korea. It featured Yang Yang S and Yang Yang A. So good luck, Paul Dickinson.
So a fairly steady start. I don't think anybody wants to take the lead. And I suppose you could be forgiven for thinking there might be team tactics at stake here. Very important individual goals as well, though, with gold, silver and bronze at stake in about 7.5 laps time. But it's a very steady skate at the moment by number 15, Yang Yang S, the silver medalist in the 500. Annie Perot of Canada won that 500-meter race, but she was eliminated in the 1,000 quarterfinals. Now the pace begins to increase just a little bit. Yang Yang S in the lead, ahead of Won Hai Kyung of Korea. Then Yang Yang A. Chun Lee Kyung, the defending champion, just at the back at the moment. This is really intriguing to see what happens over the next 5 laps. There's a lot of pride at stake here, especially for the Chinese, who are just defeated by about 1/10 of a second after 3,000 meters of relay racing. But it's China 1 and 2 at the moment. Yang Yang S is in the lead, ahead of her teammate. In 3rd place is Won Hai Kyung, and the defending champion is still at the back. 2 laps to go, 200 meters left. And Yang Yang A just went a little wide, but she goes into the lead at the bell. The Koreans are beginning to go through. Yang Yang A it is who's heading for home. Chun Lee Kyung, the defending champion, is chasing her. Oh my goodness! Now then, I think the defending champion retains her title. And I also think that Yang Yang tried to just push her to one side. Well, there is certainly some debate going on down on the referee's bench in front of us. Yang Yang A must have thought she'd won it, but look at that. A desperate reach for the line by Chun Lee Kyung to defend her title successfully.
Another eventful race and a close finish, but the gold went to Korea. Well, we're now going to return to the men's 5,000 metres relay, and it featured the defending champions Italy and the world champions Korea. We can join it for the closing stages.
Canada leading the men's relay final with 11 laps to go. China fighting it out with Korea for 2nd place. The defending champions Italy, their challenge has gone, and there's a fall. Oh my goodness! Absolute carnage on the ice. Canada are miles ahead. Korea and China were tangling. At the moment, it looks as though, as Francois Drolet moves across there and glances across the ice, Italy are out of it altogether, but Canada just watching from the other side of the ice to see what happened. The Koreans are back on their feet and fighting to get back in touch with Canada. It seems a forlorn hope at this stage. Italy are way out of it. There's going to be a new champion. The Koreans look exhausted after that fall. Fabio Carter on the ice there, but all they can hope to do is perhaps catch up one place. Canada leading from Korea. The Canadians have got about 15 meters on the Korean at the moment. 3.5 laps to go. This would be an incredible victory by Canada if they can hang on. Had it not been for that clash between the Koreans and the Chinese, we could have had a very close finish. As it happens, I think it could well be a runaway victory unless the Koreans can produce something special. Mark Gagnon, who's been very disappointing in the individual events, hits the bell. If he could stay on his feet, he's going to get the gold medal he wanted. Canada are going to win it. The time is not as fast as the B final, which was a new Olympic record, but that does not matter a jot to Eric Bedard, Derek Campbell, Francois Drolet and Mark Gagnon.
So a tactical race, the gold goes to Canada. Jamie, thank you for joining us throughout the Olympics, but we've got more coverage from Nagano coming up later, the men's slalom and the bobsleigh. But now it's back to Steve.
Gold a couple of nights ago goes in the first quarter-final. Gold medalist in the 500. Then Han Ryun-Hui from the People's Republic of Korea, just 18 years old. Then Yang Yang-A. There are two Yang Yangs here. Silver medalist in the relay. There she is. Then Anke Janni Landman from the Netherlands. And then Kim Yun-Mi from Korea. 9.5 laps of the track. The first quarter-final in the ladies' 1,000 meters. 5 in this because we had one extra qualifier from the heats. Initially, it's Anke Janni Landman who starts in the lead from Han Ryun-Hui. Annie Perot content at the moment to settle for 3rd place. 4th, it's Kim Yun-Mi for Korea. She's now at the back, just in front of her, Yang Yang. Still, it's Landman who leads.
Well, she seems to be dictating the pace here, and that's a good tactic with 6 laps to go.
Still no one making a decisive burst. 2 remember qualifying. And at the moment, it's Landman and Han in those positions, but Perot will be so confident after her victory in the 500. Confidence is such a big thing in this sport. Making the move on the outside for China, Yang Yang. You'd fancy that Yang Yang and Perot will qualify here, but Yang Yang has immediately opened up a devastating lead. 5 meters. 2nd place is Kim, and Perot is right out of it. You wonder whether she might have been doing a little bit too much celebrating, or if she's got an injury, because she is out of it. And she will not qualify, and these two will in a canter. Yang Yang qualifies first, and with her, Kim Yun-Mi from Korea. No problem at all with those two.
It's quite amazing, the acceleration from the Koreans. In all the events, you'll see that both the men and the ladies are very quick when they decide to make their move. You can see Yang Yang there, down in 4th place, decides to make a move. Kim going with her. And in the space of half a lap, really destroying the rest of the field.
And that's the kind of form that took her to the World Championships. She's the overall world champion, ranked #1 in the world at this distance, and won the world title here in this very rink, the white ring, last March, which was a tryout for these Olympics. And it's a world record, 1:31.99. And both of them broke the world record. Even Landman, who didn't qualify, broke the Olympic record in 3rd place. That's astonishing. Quite astonishing. So you break the Olympic record and you don't qualify for the semi-final. There's confirmation.
Well, that's why Annie Perot looks so out of touch. It was a fast, fast race.
Whoa. Follow that. And it's being announced to the crowd now, and a gasp of acknowledgement as they see what's up on the screen. So to the 2nd quarter-final, Ikui Teshigawara, who broke the existing Olympic record in her heat. She goes for Japan, just 19 years of age. Then Marinella Canclini for Italy, Chun Lee Kyung for Korea, and Evgenia Radanova for Bulgaria. Chun, bronze medalist in the 500, very lucky, there she is, very lucky. Remember, she didn't make the A final, but still, somehow or other, and still have to wait for the judges to tell us how that actually happened, she got the bronze medal. And this will not be a world record. This very much cat and mouse. Teshigawara in front, Canclini, Chun in 3rd place, and Radanova 4th. Because Chun must have felt that birthday and Christmas had come together. In front of her, Chiré was in the 500. Chiré was disqualified, took out one of the other skaters. And the last girl didn't qualify, so they went to the B winner to get the bronze medal. Now it's hotting up, and it's Teshigawara who leads. Canclini 2nd, Chun 3rd, and Radanova 4th. Now Chun is the favourite to go through here, but has got some work to do. 4 laps to go.
But the important thing is that Chun doesn't get blocked in behind Canclini. Canclini's very experienced, and she's not going to leave the door open, that's for sure.
And she would love to see Chun out here. Now Radanova making a move on the outside, but can't get anywhere. It's Teshigawara who leads. 2.5 laps to go. Teshigawara from Canclini. Chun 3rd. Here comes Chun making the move. Canclini now in 3rd. And now in 4th as Radanova makes her move. Still it's Teshigawara. And the crowd on their feet here, willing to go through the semi. Now Chun makes a decisive break. Chun is going to qualify. Who's going to go 2nd? It looks at the moment as if it's going to be Teshigawara. Can she hold on? Yes, she does. And smiles all around here. And Chun looked better there. Much more impressive. Didn't make the final in the 500, still took the bronze medal. But that was very impressive. And Teshigawara fought like a lion to hold on to 2nd.
She really did. There was such a roar from the crowd, and all of the Japanese athletes throughout these 2 weeks have really been appreciative of the support from the Japanese crowd. But what a great effort there on the final curve by Radanova for Bulgaria. She must have missed that by, next to nothing.
Here are the results of the 2nd quarterfinal for the ladies 1,000 meters.
There's the decisive break.
In 1st place,
And that was as good as anything we've seen from Chun. So she's already got a gold in the relay. Korea won the relay on the opening night, the women's relay at 3,000 meters. And, she's got a bronze in the 500, and she's looking good here in the 1,000. So the 2 qualifiers are confirmed.
in 1st lane, number 50, Sachi.
There's a happy young lady.
In 2nd
And
lane,
there's confirmation. Chun from Korea, Teshigawara for Japan make it through to the semis.
China. And in 4th lane, number 37, John Ho-Hae from the People's Republic of Korea.
Now to the 3rd quarterfinal, and this is red hot, because here we have 1st and 2nd from the 500 2 nights ago. Isabelle Chiré, the gold medal winner in the 500, and up against her somewhat fortunate Yang Yang. That's Yang Yang S, not ranked quite as highly as the Yang Yang we saw to such good effect in the opening heat. Yang Yang S and Isabelle Chiré, and also in this heat, We have Sachi Ozawa, another one from Japan, and Ho Yong-hai from the People's Republic of Korea. On the inside, it's Ozawa, then it's Shirei, then it's Yang Yang, and then Ho on the outside for the People's Republic. Shirei, in fact, misled you, of course, not the gold medalist. It was Perot who won the gold, but Shirei got into the final and was controversially disqualified, so she'll be very careful here. And straight away, and not making any mistakes at all, goes Yang Yang. Well, Shirei will be out to behave herself. Twice she's been disqualified. In Lillehammer in '94 in this event, and also 2 nights ago when her compatriot Annie Perot took the gold. So it's Shirei who leads.
That was a good move from Shirei, right round the outside while the pace was slow. Now just keeping an eye on Ozawa from Japan, who's tried to make a move around the outside.
Shirei leads. In second place, it's Yang Yang, and it may well stay like this. Still plenty of time, though, if someone can make a move. And it looks at the moment as if Ho is the likelier. She's third. Ozawa at the back. Still at Shirei. 1.5 laps to go. Shirei from Yang Yang. And those two, as long as they don't try and mix it up with each other, are going through without any problem. Ozawa making a last desperate bid, but she's left it too late. And it's Shirei and Yang who go through, and Shirei will be feeling a lot better, and no wonder the Canadian flags are going high, because she was, well, perhaps a little unlucky to be disqualified, but it happened to her. She had such high hopes of winning the 500, but it wasn't to be. Her compatriot Annie Perot won, but here she is through to the semi.
Yes, I think over the last couple of days she'll have been dying to get back out on the ice, and to make it through into the semi-finals is a big deal, and she's in with a shout. She's a hot favourite here and looked in good form. Great turn of pace. She read it just right. Went round the outside while the pace was slow, got out in front there and was able to dictate the race.
Shirei does have a medal, of course, got the bronze in the relay behind the Koreans and the Chinese, but she'll be feeling a lot better. She's come here to win an Olympic individual gold. Yang Yang qualifies along with us, so both Yang Yangs have made it through to the semi-final, which will make things difficult for the commentators.
Let's hope they're not in the same one.
So confirmation, Shirei and Yang make it through, and Ozawa and Ho are unlucky. The last quarter-final then. On the inside, Amy Peterson, bronze in the 500 in '94. Then Shikagi Tanaka of Japan, 24 years of age. Then Won Hae-kyung of Korea. And on the outside, for Holland, Ellen Hendrika Vigas, who's got a good deal of pace and will need it here. Only 15th in the 1,000, though, in Nagano in the World Championships last year. So it's Peterson on the inside for the USA, then Tanaka for Japan, Won for Korea, and Vigas on the outside. Peterson making absolutely sure she doesn't get left at the start. Start obviously not anywhere near as critical as in the 500, but they don't want to be left standing. Vigas it is who overtakes and leads the way. Vigas from Tanaka. Tanaka was 8th in this distance in the World Championships in Nagano. And a rapidly improving skater. The national coach thinks that she's the most improved and improving young lady in Japan. But look at this sweeping move here from Won Hai-kyung. So it's Won who leads from Peterson. 5 laps to go. Won for Korea, then Peterson, then Tanaka. Now the Japanese have high hopes of Tanaka qualifying here. Vigas looked out of it, but is trying to get back on terms. But has she been outpaced here? Won leads, then Peterson.
Well, important for Tanaka not to get boxed in here. A marvellous turn of speed there from Won. She makes it look so effortless. Now Tanaka really in trouble.
She looks very unlikely to qualify from there. Vigas slipping inside her. So it's Won from Peterson. Vigas, 1 lap to go. At the bell, it's Won who leads. Peterson, Vigas third. And a roar for Tanaka, but she's not going to do it. First 2 look as if they're going to make it. Indeed they do. Won wins. Peterson second, and those 2 qualify. And that's very disappointing, I'm afraid, for the Japanese, who had such high hopes of Shikage Tanaka.
Well, I have to say, Amy Peterson's looked very impressive here, isn't she? Getting inside the Olympic record in the heats, and a very well disciplined race there in the 4th of the quarterfinals. There she is.
Bronze medalist in '94 at the 500. And showed that kind of pace here.
Just watch this move from Won right round the outside. Look at that, right from the back of the pack. And then leads them all home.
So there's confirmation that Won Hai-kyung has qualified in first place here for the semi-finals. You see the semi-finals and final of both the ladies 1,000 and the men's 500 later on here on Eurosport, as well as the final A and B of the 5,000. Great Britain, I'm afraid, going in the B final rather than the A, which we'd hoped. But Won and Peterson make it through from this 4th quarter-final. So the Zamboni's out, they're out repairing the ice. Everything's gone thick and fast here. There's a list of the qualifiers for the semi-final in order, the speed at which they qualify. And Yang breaking the world record, qualifying in first place. Such a big sport is the short track in Canada, and they're here in force. It's been a disappointing day for them. They missed out on the hockey bronze medal, and they're determined to make amends here. Right, we're going with the men's semi-finals in a moment, but first the pick of the action in the quarterfinals, recorded from earlier. The first quarterfinal in the men's 500. And a very hot heat we have. Fabio Carta for Italy, the European champion. Won that title in Budapest. Up against him, Marc Gagnon, the world record holder at 1,000 meters. There's Carta. Gagnon for Korea, Lee Junhwan, second in the World Championships last year at 1,000, and Hitoshi Uematsu for Japan, disqualified in the 1,000. It looked like Gagnon just broke a little too early there. Yes, the finger pointed very firmly at him. 4.5 laps of the track, if you've not seen it before, and a mistake early on from Lee. No collision, so he has to get up and skate again. And that's a real drama. Uematsu leads for Japan. Carter second, Gagnon third. Lee's out of it. Uematsu in the lead. Carter second. 2 laps to go. Gagnon third. Gagnon takes Carter. Was it a push? Still in the race. Gagnon takes Uematsu. Carter third. He's got to make the first 2. The first 2 qualify. Gagnon leads. Uematsu. Can Carter make it? looking for a place through on the inside, and he's not able to do it. The European champion is out in this first quarter-final. That's a big result for Japan. Uematsu going through along with Marc Gagnon.
Well, that was a very exciting start to this men's 500 meters. Fantastic race there, and a big shock with Lee making that mistake right at the beginning, and Gagnon showing his strength at this distance.
Well, Korea have had such good games in short track so far, but that is a big blow for them. And here's how it happened. He just missed his footing, 2, 3, 4 strides, and then he was off. And that was his race done and dusted.
There really was curtains then, and Gagnon finding himself down in 3rd place. He had an awful lot of work to do. There you can see the slip again. Well, there was nothing he could do from there on in.
If there's a collision before the apex of the first bend, then they're brought back, but there was no collision there.
That's right. If he'd actually fallen and not been able to get on, it'd probably been better just to go down.
So there are the qualifiers. Gagnon and